Today in War of the Visions, upcoming patch information. A local Redditor asks, will 4,000 Visior be enough to pull Lucia? Quality of life updates. Sayonara Justin Rules 18, you've been kicked from multiplayer. And finally, igneous or sedimentary. Find the best stone for your Mont to throw with our in-depth guide. This is WOTV News. Hey everybody, welcome back to another War of the Visions video. Today we're just going to be covering all the news that's come out recently. There's a lot of it, so let's get right into it. So we've got Ryu here ready to go. Wow, that actually... I have to do a few of those takes before he actually does the right move there, so that worked out. Let's go straight into the news. So we've got a big patch coming out. There's going to be a big maintenance. That's when they take out some of the stuff that's in the game and put in all the new stuff. And we've also got a brand new month to work through, and that's the June login bonus. It's pretty standard. We've got Lucia shards though, which is really neat because she's going to be the chase UR of this month. And the fact that you'll get these bonus shards on top of, whatever you would normally grind while pulling her, it's going to give people that do get her an easier time to max her and make her competitive. And for all of those that aren't able to get her or that don't go for her, like myself, well, we can just rue the day that they did this and we run into level 99 Lucias on PvP almost immediately. But otherwise, we've got Rainbow Vision spheres and thoughts, and it's all pretty nice. I think this is these are always good to look at, and we'll hopefully get some, maybe 6 mil, 10 mil, whatever. People will keep downloading the game, people keep re-rolling, and we'll get some more bonus logins, I hope. So the maintenance is tomorrow for me. That's 6 o'clock, which gives me a real tight window to get my stuff done right after I get off work. But this game was designed for me. But overall, just make sure you plan around that tomorrow. So whenever this maintenance is for you. The big news is that we're going to have 2 new units and 2 new vision cards, which is fairly substantial. So let's talk a little bit about each of those. So the first one is going to be Lucia, and she is a big deal. She's a double gunner. She is really, really popular on the JP server, and for good reason. She does a lot of damage. She kills Mont tanks, which there's a lot of right now. She gets Sub-Job Ranger, which is really important for gunners to shoot over obstacles, but she also just has a lot of good dual gunner skills as well. So she's just going to be a big part of the meta for a while, so you're definitely going to be seeing a lot of her. So if you have an ice unit, then that's good because ice is going to be strong against her if they can get close to her, that is. So she'll definitely be someone you see a lot of, and a lot of you are already planned around this. You're already going to be chasing her, so that's really neat. Next up we have Adelard, who is somebody I'm very excited for, and I hope that I can pull him at some point so that I can work on him, partly because I don't really have a fire unit built, but also because, well, I guess I have Y'shtola, but whatever. He's a red mage, which is always one of the coolest jobs around, but he also has white mage, so it gives him some healing capabilities, which is very nice as well. And then red mages always get jamming thrust. It's right for them to display that there because it is the skill. It's really awesome, good damage, good range, and can even cancel ability activation, which is pretty neat. So next up we've got our new vision cards, and Tetrasylphid is the new UR card, and you're probably not going to pull this for the card itself but for the Esper. So the card is going to give you accuracy up to the person that equips it, and then the whole party is going to get wind attack up. And this is a fairly unique ability in that we only have a few element boosters, but you need to be running them in very specific parties, so this card isn't going to work for everybody. But the Esper is going to be perfect for gunners. It has the projectile damage up, and it also has a lot of evasion nodes. So usually a lot of the Espers have, I think, 2 evasion nodes, and you're going to get 2 extra evasion nodes on Tetrasylphid, so you're going to get a lot of evasion boost from this Esper, so it's going to be a really big priority for people to grab for evasion builds, but also to grab for their gunners. So it's just all around going to be a very important card to grab, especially if you grab Lucia, then by all means you will hopefully get this as well. We're also going to get Path to Revenge And this is a really solid card. It's got defense up, just straight defense up. That is going to be good on a tank or really any unit that you think will be taking some damage that's not magical, of course. And then slash attack up is also a very good skill. Now, we're getting to the point where slash attack up, this is actually a nerf in a way, because there's a lot of slash attack up, just like there's a lot of attack up. And at a certain point, you want to maximize your party abilities, and if they can't stack. So if you have a bunch of slash attack up cards, you're only getting the bonus from the highest one, which means that you have to pick and choose. So this means that this card probably won't be chosen as often as some of the other slash attack ups, but you never know. I think that defense up, especially if you can get to a certain point, is very valuable on a tank, so we'll definitely see how that works out. And then otherwise, we're going to see the new beast den for Tetrasilphid, which is important. You have to go do that because that's 50 Visior in your pocket that you can spend on whatever you want. Next up, we've got Gilgamesh second character quest, so they're going to give him a bunch of HP and accuracy, and he's just going to be a whole lot better. So all those people that developed Gilgamesh, way to go. We're also going to have a new quest, and this is the Threat to the West, Rundal. And when you clear this, you're going to get training materials, but you'll also get stuff for basically for the new units, and there's going to be some fragments of thoughts and all that, so that's really cool. The way that they set this up, like, is it going to be a story quest? Because that would be really awesome. I'd be very excited for that because we don't even really know much about Rundal at all. So I really do hope that there's more information. It looks like there's event tokens and everything, so that's really exciting. And if you don't pull on those units, that means that you can just farm this event and just pour it into your other units buying awakening materials, which is always really solid. So there's the EX version, and you're going to be able to get the Ras Algathi, which I actually have built a little bit, but not fully. So we'll take a look at that. We'll take a look at that right now, and then we'll get back to the news. So if we go over to my equipment, and you see I've got a gunner. I've got Ryu. So he uses the Ras Algathi +1. It was really hard to farm this when it came out. The drop rate was abysmal. So I basically awakened it to 4 and just poured a little bit of resources into it. So I got the least amount of agility decrease. And really, I just got some nice attack and then the missile attack bonus. So I think this is a really powerful gun, obviously, but it depends on the drop rate for this event, because that was the first equipment farming event we got, and it was honestly, I tried really hard to get this, and it just wasn't worth it. I barely got any recipes. So hopefully we get a better drop rate for that, because otherwise this is 1.25 million in the shop, so there's really no other good way to get it. But moving on, we've got more news. Don't you worry, this is the wrong menu to go into. Here we go. So there's going to be a bunch of quality of life updates, which is really exciting. Oh, and they've also extended the weekend stay home and play, where you get these large energy pots, which is awesome. I really appreciate that. Okay, so there's also the Frontline War of the Visions FFBE number 3, and this is where they go over all the stuff that's coming to the game, and there's some really cool stuff coming. So we're going to get, next week, we're going to get a new raid event, well, really our first ever raid event, and that's a really big deal. There's a lot of videos about the Japan raids, and there was a lot of issues with the FF14 one, which is probably why we didn't get it. But there's also just a lot of, if you watch, again, I've mentioned it before, AOG or Cabbage, he mentioned how problematic the raid was at first, and but then the rewards were pretty good. And if you read, there's the time capsule post on the Reddit that was talking about how grindy the raids were, like how much effort you had to put into them just to get some good rewards. So definitely excited to see how this works, and I hope that there's a more friendly version coming to us. We really are very lucky in global to get everything after it's been tested and tried in Japan. That time capsule post on Reddit really made me think how lucky we are, because man, did they play a different game than we did in the starting months. But we're also going to get the item exchange shop coming soon, which is very exciting. You can see that you basically can trade up and down items for rarer versions of those items, and that's going to be very useful for us instead of going, if you've like farmed one quest for a certain item and then you just have by accident farmed 300 of a different azurite that you don't even have a character for, well, this is going to let you trade it all in, so that's really nice. They're putting the trailer into the game, which is cool. I like that. And then there's some important stuff coming on. So there's going to be a new update to the way that hate is calculated, and that's very important. So if you gain hate, then every time you take damage, you're going to lose some of that value, so that eventually you have to find a way to gain hate again. And if you have something that lowers your hate stat more than it normally would be, like hide, then when you deal damage, you'll slowly start to gain more hate back. So that's also very important. So this is a good change because hate is definitely necessary. I love that it's in the game, because without it, there's not really, tank units don't really matter, but also without it, you can't really protect a unit so that it can do what it's supposed to do in Shine, which is really, you know, one of the best things about this game is building your party and watching it in action. So I think finding a good happy medium for hate where you're not just stuck against these Ayaka, Engelbert sustain parties, or these parties where you're just whacking Wont with everything you have, but their Orlando gets all the time in the world to finish you off. I think this is going to be a really good balance adjustment. So I'm really excited to see how that works. So there's also going to be some fluctuations in terms of the Vow of Love card. I don't think it's going to be as powerful anymore, and that's important as well, because that might even free up a spot for you to use a different card, although it's still going to have the attack up. So we're also going to be able to kick people in multiplayer. That is so important. I was doing a bunch of multiplayer yesterday, and the same person was always waiting so long to get back into the menu, and you can leave and go find another party, but you know, if you have one already working, then you just want to use that one. So this is going to be a big deal just to replace that one person. And then also all the settings are going to carry over. Like, these are little things that make a big difference. We're going to be able to increase our faith in the guild barracks, which is very, very important. That's going to be so much nicer than doing these longer faith grinds. So I really appreciate that, just getting everybody that's a mage to 70-70 and then start working on their faith and their brave from there, and then with your other characters just getting their brave up, and you can still decrease their faith, which is important as well. And then otherwise, we're going to have just like lots of little updates for the guild battles. So the main thing is the battle records is going to be added, and that's really important. You're going to be able to go from the home screen straight to your guild battle again. That's very important. I'm really excited about that. And then you're also they're going to have some UI adjustments as well. Here is a really big one. So equipment crafting, you're going to be able to choose which type it is. So I've been waiting to craft my Nangarok for Ramza, my magic version. Now I'm going to be able to do that because you're going to be able to choose what type it is. This is really, really solid. And we're also going to be able to do things with things that have been favorited or equipped. And again, I don't know if you've done this where you're just looking through every single formation trying to find the person that has a piece of equipment equipped just so that you can maybe fuse it or something, and it's just such a pain in the butt. So this is huge, huge, huge. And then looking on, we've also got some push notifications for different things. We're going to get that's going to be it. That's going to be it for the very soon things. The things that are coming soon to the game, but then there's going to be lots of future updates, and these are things that they've listed before, so we're not going to go super in depth into this. But I am really excited for this auto repeat stuff. So being able to say, I want to run this 10 times, I want to be able to automatically use an energy pot, like that's all really cool. But in terms of what's coming to the game soon, lots of really, really important updating. I think we're going to see more people with crafted gear after this, and we're also just going to see people raising their parties, working on faith more easily and stuff like that. So very, very exciting stuff. Okay, that's going to be it. Ryu, you got anything to say? Yeah. Okay, there we go. Well, I hope this video was useful to you. You can let me know if it was in the comments below, and by showing your support, you can give me a like or a sub, and I'd really appreciate it because it does help out the channel. And otherwise, we'll catch you later in another War of the Visions video. Thank you so much for watching this video. You can show your support with a like and subscribe, and by checking out my Patreon at patreon.com/MysidiaGaming. Until next time, keep it real, Mysidians.